Okay, it's time I tell you about my debt. This is terrifying. Honestly, I carry a lot of shame with this debt, which I think most people do, especially around school loans, because people have a lot of opinions about that. And I will explain the reasoning or lack thereof around everything that's going on with our debt. But drum roll, the big number is $627,528.29.
Oh, well, mm, she got to either be a doctor or that is including her cars and her mortgage. Most people include their house. So maybe she just bought a house. Maybe she got a $400,000 or $500,000 house, and then they got cars on top of that. And I'm assuming student loans and all of that, right? So most people don't include the mortgage, or most people do include their mortgage inside of their debt. So that's just that number. It just looks so big. Oh, $627,528.29. She got it down to the penny. Got to be the mortgage in that. Got to be the mortgage in that. No way that's just separate debt alone. And most of the time, I tell people, well, what is your debt? Well, aside from whatever your mortgage is, which doesn't mean that your mortgage is not debt. However, more of the immediate credit cards, student loans, that is the stuff that is way more impactful. And most of the time, stuff like credit cards that have a high interest on top of it, so you need to tackle that immediately, right? That's the number just seems so big, but I'm assuming that it's a mortgage inside of that.
Terrible. So the majority of that are school loans. My own school loans come to $266,427.79. I went to school for 6.5 years. 2.5 were grad school to get my doctorate in physical therapy.
Physical therapy? Physical therapy. So wait a minute, you got $266,000 in student loans from physical therapy?
And then my husband has $581,378.69 in school loans. He did 8 years of school, 4 undergrad, 4 graduate, 4 chiropractic.
Wait a minute. The math is not mathing for me. And maybe I'm a C student, so y'all let me know inside of the chat whether I got this wrong. And I always like to link back to the content creator. So thank you guys for sending me this. That link will be down in the description. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon link is in the description so you guys can level up and you don't find yourself in this circumstance. And let's just try to figure this out for 1 second, okay? Just 1 second. So 581, but she said that her total debt, let me rewind this real quick. She said that her total debt was $581,627. How is that accurate? Well, wait. So are you telling me that she's not including his debt along with it? If his was 588 or 587 and hers is this is all bad. 266. How does that add up to 627? I'm assuming that maybe they paid it down. Let me play this from the beginning because I need to better understand exactly what's going on.
I carry
without it being a mortgage is insane.
A lot of shame with this debt, which I think most people do, especially around school loans, because people have a lot of opinions about that. And I will explain the reasoning or lack thereof around everything that's going on with our debt. But drum roll, the big number is $627,528.29. Terrible. So the majority of that are school loans. My own school loans come to $266,427.79. I went to school for 6.5 years, 2.5 were grad school to get my doctorate in physical therapy. And then my husband has $581,378.69 in school loans. He did 8 years of school. For undergrad, for graduate, for chiropractic. So all that being said,
this is insane.
The huge school loan ones are just so massive that, and they've always been there, that it's just it's a huge burden, but it's also like we can't even include that in our debt payoff at this time, eventually. So if I deduct the massive government school loans and I keep just my small private one, by small private loan, it's $44,000.
And she got a $44,000 private one on top of it. What the fuck is y'all doing? Y'all don't know that y'all got to pay this back when y'all take these out?
$89.42. So small compared to, massive. So if we total my private loan, my car payment, credit cards, braces, medical debt, the total for that, which is the ultimate goal to really start paying down now, is $91,681.89.
And that's minus the big one. This is just credit cards, medical debt, braces, and our private school loan, which is separate from the big dog. Yo, before I get to the rest of this video, I say this all the time, that love ain't enough. Guys got to start looking at this from a business perspective. And her husband is no better. And this also feeds into the fact that no debt is truly, truly freedom. The new freedom is to be debt free. Anytime that you got debt, and I'm talking about consumer debt, whatever debt that you want to frame it. I'm talking about you want to pay off your house, you want to pay off your credit cards, you don't want to have no financing on your vehicles, none of that stuff. I'm just telling you, the true freedom is when you get paid, no matter how much you get paid, you literally can do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. Of course, you got to feed yourself. Of course, you got to pay your utilities. It's some stuff that you're going to have a reoccurring charge for, your cell phone bill or something like that. But even like people financing phones, the truest freedom that you can ever have in your entire life is not owing anybody anything. So it does not matter what happened in life. I will always be able to go home. I will always be able to have my stuff. I will always be able to have assets. And most of the time, those assets put off money that I can then use to live whatever the lifestyle that I want, or buy the toys, or do the things that I want to do. The true goal, please tap into the Patreon. If you are looking to line up and rock out with a group of people that's going in the direction that you're going in. Stock club, real estate, mastermind sessions, making money from content creation, all of that stuff is in there. Let me get to the rest of this video. This is egregious.
The stress that we live under is just a daily stress. Honestly, I don't even know how to explain how it happened. We lived out of our means. We were starting off in debt. I chose private school. My husband chose private college. I was 18. I thought it was a great idea. Looking back, I'm 37. It wasn't a good idea.
And this has nothing to do with colleges being a scam. Plenty of people pay for it. They work their way through it. They have work-study jobs. They take care of business. They minimize the amount of expenses that they have. They get roommates. They don't use that in order to make sure that they live their lifestyle. A lot of people live off of that money. And so it has nothing to do with college being a scam. It has everything to do with you making the right decisions to afford it and not having to pay quadruple by the end of your lifetime for whatever education that you got, which was supposed to be an investment in your future, and you picking the right curriculum to make money. School is for you to figure out how to level up and make more money. Finding a job is a means to an end. That's it.
I can't change that. I will be paying them off. But the rest of my debt was our decision, and it was not a good decision. Living out of your means, taking on things that you can't take on, but other things are just, they come up. Summer camp and
this don't even have, they wouldn't have kids too, and this ain't even have nothing to do with whatever they got on their house and mortgage.
Childcare and unexpected house things and yada, yada, yada. We didn't include our mortgage in this either. That doesn't count. So The 91,681.89 cents is the total that I'm running off of for my purpose here on TikTok, to try to make money and pay it down, starting with the credit cards, because that is not good debt. And I really, 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 really hope to cut.
Ain't no such thing as good debt, in my opinion, but that's just my personal opinion. The only such thing as good debt is when you leverage in debt, not necessarily to make more money, but to avoid paying more in taxes. That's a whole nother conversation. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Let me know what y'all think. Is this not the biggest number? I've never seen a number this big in personal debt, personally. Let me know what y'all think. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm out.